Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great call lined up. I know he's rested up for the last 30 days and he's ready to come at us. I saw him down in Turk and Caicos, what was that, 3 weeks ago? See, last week I was in Mexico for the week, and I'm here for a week. It had to be 3 weeks ago. Turk and Caicos, and his lovely daughter. And we had a chance to break bread a little bit as he, quite naturally, his daughter down there, she was smiling ear to ear, showing all 32 teeth. She was excited hanging out with her dad on all these trips, and it was good seeing her. And she gave me a big old hug. Oh, Mr. Thomas, are you talking about me in the calls for you to my dad? I'll go, yes, we all love your dad. So without further ado, everybody, can we give a warm welcome to none other than Regional Vice President, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Buddy, what is going on? Hey, Mr.
Hey, sir,
T, how you doing?
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, man, we had a great time. We had a great time hanging out with you, and my daughter ran right up to you, and that's always it's always so much fun. So it's funny as making my notes. I got you guys covered today. Um, I'm thinking like, shoot, man, like I've this great relationship with Al, and we've known each other for a long time. And you guys, I've done so many of these calls for so long with you guys. After a while, you kind of wonder, like, what don't you know, or what haven't we covered? Because we've covered a lot of territory, and I got to thinking about this, and I'm like, well, sometimes people need to relearn stuff, right? And in thinking about Mr. Thomas, he became a senior vice president not by doing something once, right? What's the Bruce Lee quote? I don't fear the man who can do 1,000 moves. I fear the man who does one move 1,000 times, right? And they just know this thing like the back of their hand, and that's part of what I'm going to talk to you about today. But you guys know I'm grateful for my friendship with Al and what he does. And let me say this, and let me make sure you guys say this word. This is important, and I want Al to hear this as well. Okay. What he volunteers to do to have a forum like this, what he volunteers to do, I think is remarkable, because he doesn't need to do this call. And he doesn't just do it when I'm on it, one Thursday every other month for the last 18 years. He does it every day, arranging guest speakers and doing these things. And it's like, guys, I'll tell you this to start my month with you. And that is, we'll give you the information so long as you're willing to go get the information wherever we have it. And I think that's tremendously important. Well, the Zoom couldn't make it any easier. Truthfully, you guys, I'll tell you this: I'm knocked out that there's not 100 people on this call. If they knew, and that's not about me, that's about the forum that you have. So I would encourage you guys over the course of the balance of this month, I wouldn't take these calls for granted, because if you get one thing, one piece of information, one action plan, one skill set that you can wrap your head around, understand that one piece of information could lead to a new group that could result in thousands of customers, hundreds of reps, tens of thousands of dollars in billing in a business that you are building part-time on the side from home. So that's how I feel about these calls. That's how I feel about the leadership and the information. And I know that there's people on this call who what I'm saying resonates with them. Kush and some of the others that are on here. I know that. I know it, because they wouldn't be on a call like this. So anyway, Mr. T, that's a long-winded way of saying appreciate being on again. And on behalf of all the people that plug into this call, I'm going to thank you for them, because I think it's great. So anyway, you guys, greetings from the Pacific Northwest. I guess I'll give you the view when we finish up. House behind me here. Typically it's this whole thing about the Pacific Northwest, right? Because I've never lived up here. The clouds and the rain and all that kind of stuff. I guess we moved up here at the right time, because we'll have like 5 or 6 or 7 days of like gray and cloud and rain and drizzle and all that stuff. And I learned something. I learned something. If you live up here, do not let the locals see you with an umbrella. They already know you're not from up here. It's like, this is sunshine there is like rain up here and no big deal. But then you get a day like today and it's like, you guys, I'll be excited to show you around here in a second. So anyway, enough of that. So get yourself ready. I'm going to dive in. So here's my question for you. This is an ACN question. This is a business building question. Okay. So we're just going to start here, and you guys just kind of, you got to take this walk with me if you're going to be on the call. Here's the thing I want you to write down. Okay. And don't overthink this, because you've heard this kind of stuff before, but I want to go someplace with it. So first question, right? What made you join? What made you join? You know, there was a point where someone presented this opportunity to you, and whether it was back in the day and it was $4.99, or whether it was in the last couple of years and it was $2.99, that's irrelevant. That's not that. What made you join? And there could be all kinds of answers. The company, the comp plan, the environment, the this, the that, whatever. Right? So I want you to really think about that. And that's question number one. And we're going to have to come back and kind of get an answer for that. Because something made you hit submit on the rep agreement, or sign it and submit it and fax it or whatever it is back when we got started. So that's the first question. What made you join? And then the second question, and isn't it funny that the choice of words I gave you? I didn't say why'd you want to join, because people want to do things all the time and they don't do them, do they? What made you join? Something propelled you. Could have been your life circumstances. I don't know. But you got to answer that question. What made you join? Here's the second one. This is important, I think. Second one is, what keeps you involved? Because just because you joined, right? Something's putting you guys on these calls every day. Something's getting you to come to the national. Something's getting you to come to the Tahoe leadership. Some of you are learning about the Road to SVP event that we're doing in Palm Desert. What? Haven't done. We didn't. Mr. Weber and I haven't done those events, and Mr. Basuti and all these others. We haven't done those since before the pandemic. What keeps you involved? And that's got to be something specific. Because if there wasn't here, you guys, if there wasn't something keeping you involved, you wouldn't be on this call. True? Got to be something. There's Mr. T, first one, thumbs up. He gets it. So number one, what made you join? Number two, what keeps you involved? Here's the third one. Don't write anything yet until I tell you to write. Here's the third one. What makes you want to do this? And you need to write makes in capitals. What makes you want to do this? So what made you join? What keeps you involved? What makes you want to do this? And then the fourth one is, what do you see this doing for you? Right? What do you see this doing for you? What keeps you involved? What makes you want to do this? And what do you see this doing for you? Well, the longer you're involved with something, and you guys have heard us say your reason why, or, you know, your motivation, right? Some people, it's similar. Look, I need to make money. Like, I want to make money. It doesn't matter. I need to get the bills paid. I need to, I need to find an alternative outside of my job with my boss, and whatever the case may be. You know, when you think about what made you join, it could be, well, God, this just makes so much sense. Wait, I can get paid on a bill that's already being paid. Well, what made me join was it made too much sense. It made so much sense. The risk was not doing it. So you got to be really clear about that. Right? But yesterday's home runs don't pay tomorrow's bills, right? We've heard that. Well, that's important, because in general, you guys, people aren't necessarily motivated by money. They're motivated by the things that money can accomplish, right? A sense of security, freedom, all those things we've talked about and you've heard a million times. But you got to remember what made you get involved. Here's the second thing: what keeps you involved? So what does that look like in our lives? Okay. Well, certainly your circumstances are going to keep you involved, right? Whether you become financially successful, independent, like Mr. Thomas, or other people that are maybe, sorting it out month to month, which by the way is okay. It's not a judgment call. It's just, it is what it is. How great that we have a vehicle to do something about that. What keeps you involved? How about this? This is a big one. Okay. And this has happened in my life. What keeps you involved? Right. Do you guys have any people in your life that said or challenged you with, what are you doing? Those things don't work. You shouldn't be doing that. You should spend your time. You're chasing a dream. Who's heard all of those things, right? Isn't that true? We've all heard those things. Okay. Well, let me tell you guys something. Let me be very clear with you. Here's a shot of espresso for you. If you quit, they were right. If you quit, they were right telling you not to do this. If you quit, they were right saying it wasn't a good idea. If you quit, they were right saying it doesn't work. Right? Now that they're not right for me, but they're right for you because they said that to you. So who besides me wants to prove all those people wrong? Every single one of them. Who wants to have a list to go back to those people? Absolutely. So what keeps you involved? Well, then here's the next one. In capital letters, what makes you want to do this? Well, I thought about this for a second and I'm like, look, man, senior vice president is not some unattainable thing. See, I don't care right now if you're customer qualified, if you're an executive team leader, regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president. Senior vice president is not some pie in the sky thing, right? Ask Mr. Thomas. It's not. It is achievable. But I'm going to tell you this. So everybody listen up. He knows how to navigate his freaking back office. Do you? He knows how to find information on where to get, trainings. Do you? He knows how the comp plan works. Do you? You guys, am I making sense? It's like, look, man, your opportunities increase dramatically when a prepared IBO meets an open-minded person. Your prospects and your odds do not go up if you meet a prospect and you don't know what you're doing or what you're saying. Now, for a brand new person, they go, well, wait a minute. You're saying we don't have to know that much stuff in the beginning. You don't, but you need to know a little. You need to know how to pique someone's interest and get them to your leader, right? What's it? Bring me to your leader. Like, that's what you want. You take me to your leader. You want that, right? So what makes you want to do this? See, for me, there's no way. Look, you guys, I fall into the category of person. They're going to find me. They're going to see me at SVP, or they're going to find me on the side of the mountain climbing to get there. That's where they're going to find me, because I made a commitment in spite of other things in life and family and things and stuff that we all have. I made a commitment to do that. Well, guess what, you guys? When you are committed in the face of adversity, when you are committed in the face of challenge, when you are committed in the face of discouragement, and you are committed and you see your way through, by default you're setting yourself up to win, because that's what every single champion in every single industry in every single field of life does. Champions aren't crowned because things went well. Do you guys get that? Champions aren't. He did not go SVP because things went well. He went SVP in spite of things not going the way he wanted. And he persevered and went to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. Show of hands, who understands this conversation? So what makes you want to do this? And then the last one is, what do you see this doing for you? So people go, God, let me think about this for a second. What made me join? What keeps me involved? What makes me want to do this? What do I see this doing for you? Do you guys understand that every single one of those questions could be the same answer? Now, they don't have to be the same answer, but they can be the same answer. So what does this all kind of like wrap into? It wraps into opportunities are inconvenient. So what are you specifically doing? You guys, please write this down. Please write this down. What am I doing to break my routine? See, the problem is that when people fall into a routine and they don't break it, you have arrived at where that routine could get you. You know, I tell this to people all the time. There's one guy on my team. I say, listen, man, I know that you're busy with your work and it takes a lot of time. Take a different route home. When you're done with work, go a different route. Why? Because you're going to see a different hotel. You're going to see a different store. You're going to see a different coffee shop. You're going to see a different sports bar. You're going to see a different car dealership. And you're going to have an opportunity. You guys, you realize that when you go into a place of business, and you want to pique someone's interest, this may come as a shock to you. Ladies, you're going to know this better than the guys. You're going to know this better than the guys. But do you guys know that you can do you know that you can shop and not buy? Do you know that that's possible? Ladies know that you can shop and not buy. Guys are like, oh my God, we're going freaking shopping again. I'm going to, get the credit card ready. We're going to be buying it, right? Like, look, my point is that you can. That is a great way. There you go. Marvetta just put it in there. What if Marvetta is the one who heard the message I had today? She goes someplace new today, and by next week's call, she has a new business partner because she got out of her office, she got out of her home, and she actually went out and met people. Like, you guys, you got to understand this. Your ACN business is not going to grow by default if you're doing the same things you're doing every single day. So I'm going to give you guys a challenge. Did you put any new customers in your business this last week? If the answer is no, you got to change it up. Did you have any new people see the business? If the answer is no, then you got to change it up. Stop spinning your wheels, right? Clapping for everybody else, which, by the way, I love. One person wins on this call, everybody wins. But how about you? When's your turn? When's your time? How about you? Who are you talking to? Have you gone into the back office? Have you learned the things that we need to learn to be able to speak with confidence about the opportunity that we have? I don't know that you have or not. I have no idea because I don't know all of your businesses. I know some of the people on my business, their business isn't much different than it was 6 months ago or a year ago. And if that's the case, listen, you're not in trouble. But I don't want you to kid yourself. We're a customer acquisition company, either acquiring the customers personally or acquiring them through a team. So all these things come back to what made you join? Why did you say yes to this? Number two, what keeps you involved in this? Number three, what makes you want to do this? And number four, what do you see this doing for you? Man, what a great place to wrap up this call. What do you see this doing for you? A silly way to think of it is, what if this just meant that you didn't have to look at the right side of the menu? You guys, when you look at a menu and you're at a restaurant, what's on the right side of the menu on every page? Someone tell me. The price. My question for you is, what if that was irrelevant to the quality of the meal that you had? Do you guys realize that can represent the quality of the life that you lead? It doesn't mean you're going to spend foolishly, but it meant if you felt like spending foolishly for a night, it had zero impact on your life. Do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want. That's the goal for all of us, right? So to have that, we got to work backwards. Senior vice president, backwards to regional vice president, backwards to regional director, backwards to regional coordinator, which I think a lot of people on this call are probably shooting for. Regional coordinator, regional director. Here's the great part. The way ACN works is this. You will, and you've heard me say this before, but I hope you hear this differently based on what I've covered with you guys. Excuse me. You will act, perform, and operate at the position you are working towards before you hit the position you are working towards. You will act, operate, behave on a daily basis as a regional director before you hit that position. You will act and operate and behave as a regional vice president before you hit that position. And that's a fact. And why does that happen? Just the way it is. It's like Jim Rohn said, dealing with the weather. Well, why does the sun come up in the east? Or, I would spend no time on that because there's nothing you can do about it. So why do you act, behave, and operate? You guys have heard me talk about her a bunch of times. But Roxanne is operating, acting, behaving, her attitude, how she handles adversity. She trains on Al's call. She's acting like a regional vice president before she's hit the position. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. So are you doing that? She knows how to navigate her back office. She knows how to go into a new market. She knows how to help someone get customer qualified. These are the things that we do. She knows how to manage emotions. Here's a big one for people who want to do on this business. She knows, look, she always has great energy. Even if she's out of energy, she might be tapped out. She might be on empty, but you would never know it. You would never know it. And that is significant, in my opinion, right? So here's a couple things, you guys. Here two last things I'm going to leave with you. Number one is this. For this month, please write this down because I'm going to refer to this often. For this month, I want you guys to have daily wins. What is my daily win? Did you pique someone? Did you present to someone or participate in a presentation? Did you get a customer or help someone get a customer? Did you get an IBO or help someone get an IBO? Did you get a pre-registration? And my God, I hope you guys are pre-registered for Cleveland. So get a daily win. How would you guys feel if you had 30 wins? How would you feel if you had 30 wins this month? Right? Piquing someone, presenting, getting a customer, getting an IBO, getting a pre-reg. One of those things happens every single day. Now, if you want to have more success, do more than one a day. But it's like a vitamin, do one a day. And here's the last thing I'm going to leave with you guys, and I'll clear out of your I'm going to clear out of your day, actually. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. And the way you make others feel is your trademark. Who couldn't build a business this way? Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. And the way you make others feel is your trademark. I do everything in my power to make sure that when I'm done in a conversation or a meeting or whatever, that everybody feels like it was worth their time to hang out, laugh, connect, whatever the case may be, share the opportunity, paint some vision, all of those things. Let them see a smile. Your personality is your business card, and the way you make others feel is your trademark. You add that into what made you join, what keeps you involved, what makes you want to do this, and what do you see this doing for you? The only reason I think someone wouldn't succeed at this is if they just chose not to do anything. And there's not much I can do about those people. But if you want to do this, hopefully this is going to get us going to a really great start for the month of June on Thursdays. And Mr. T, that's what I got. I'll turn it back over to you.